floor. That's not Locke and Boone. That's Jones.
It's Mutt and Jeff.
And Freddie.
Mutt and Jeff.
It's Mutt and Jeff. Good friends. Brad Jones now with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's Dave Fredman. He's one of the originals. How are you, Freddie?
Doing great.
I decided that Mike Conley to Memphis is if Darrell Griffith had John Stockton's career and been involved in the community.
That's a good.
How's that?
That's very good.
You've been with the Jazz since '79, first professional franchise. There's a lot of similarities actually between these two organizations.
With the Jazz back when
Well,
we were
New
in
Orleans. Yeah, I know. There's nobody left in Memphis from Vancouver because Don Poirier was probably the last one. He passed away. He was their playbook. Who's that?
Chantel has a VP personnel.
All right. There's a Freddie equivalent.
There it is. She's a lot better looking though.
Oh, okay.
That's not hard.
Speaking of better looking,
Yeah, go ahead.
here's Ron Boone.
Hello there.
And I'm David Locke. Sorry. The last and least. All right, we can go back to these guys. We don't mind that. Where'd Mike go? Oh, Mike got off the court.
No, he's over here.
Oh, he's over there talking to Tayshaun Prince.
Tayshaun Prince, yeah.
So Mike is...
Who's that Tayshaun Prince, the next player that goes into the front office of an NBA franchise.
And they played together for a long time here. Mike came out a few moments ago, shook hands with every usher. If you go to my Instagram at dlock09, you can see it. Then did his warm-ups, did his regular work. He's trying to make this... He had this belief that he was going to try to make this as normal as possible. I think he has conceded on that. Though he is, unlike some other players, he's willing to talk right now. The other night at this exact time, he and I had a lengthy conversation. So he is one of those guys who's willing to kind of... He doesn't have to get back to his locker to go through some meditation or something before a game.
But so he has a routine, and his routine is not fat. You know, and obviously he's very in touch with everyone around here. So, you know, why not reach out? As long as it doesn't affect your routine. He's already got his shots in. He's already gone over the scouting plan. So hopefully he's ready to go.
Seeing around the arena, there's Tyus. They all come together. Tyus Jones is there talking to Vince LaGarza. They were in Minnesota together. Brian Bailey is with Joe Ingles. Joe's not talking to Brian Bailey. Poor Brian Bailey just has to sit next to Joe Ingles. There's Donovan Mitchell fans coming into the arena. It's a beautiful arena, actually. This is one of the nicer arenas in the league, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I judge that by the concourse a lot of times. You know, when there's they've got history.
Here's Donovan. Let's see how much trouble he gives Mike. They've been giving Mike a hard time the whole time. There's a big article in the ESPN. Sorry, what were you judging? What do you judge?
The concourse. You know, when you walk around the concourse and there's some history of, you know, what this franchise has been like, players that have gone through it, you know, that kind of thing. More so what you see in Indianapolis.
That's the best.
I think the Jazz now are getting it, but ours is on the lower concourse, whereas the Pacers is on the main concourse around the league. It's really nice. Of course, the old arena here was the Pyramid.
Yes.
Back in the day.
That guy evidently doesn't think we should be shooting Mike. He wants to be in our shot.
He
just walked right in front of us.
Should I move him?
No, because he's working for the NBA.
Okay.
Should we go bomb Doris?
No, you go bomb.
All right, we're gonna go bomb Doris. We're going to bomb Doris. Say hi. Say hi to Salt Lake City. It's live on the floor with Ryan and Doris.
Hello, Salt Lake City. How are we doing?
How you doing?
Valters, saying hi to Valters.
I want to know how many of your Salt Lake City people believe Mike Conley will shed a tear before the night's up. And do you think he's going to shed a tear?
Yes.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think he will. I think he almost admitted it today in that when we were all there with him today. I think he kind of admitted, like, I'm trying to pretend I'm not going to, but you don't know. Well, Kemba did, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's somewhat similar.
That's very true. They're thoughtful, team-oriented, committed guys to the community, and when you have that connection, it's hard.
I'm not sure, and I don't. Money's not everything, but the amount of money that Mike donated to this community, I'm not sure there's a lot of people that have done that in NBA history to their.
Can we throw questions about the Jazz at you?
Sure.
How does your makeup while we do
Is this the highest ceiling Jazz team on the offensive end that you've ever been a part of? I'm not saying they're playing well offensively yet, but do you believe their ceiling is the highest?
So remember that even though you're 34 and we've been friends for 20 years.
Yeah,
I was the pre-halftime and post-game show host in the 90s.
Oh, forget it.
So those teams were far better
They
offensively.
were very good.
So while you're 34 and you've known me for most of my career, I'm not 34. Ryan might be. The guy putting on makeup might be 34.
I turned 33 Monday.
All right, so yeah. What's he putting on makeup for?
I don't like
You-
shine. All
You
of a
know, my
sudden.
ex,
We'll do Botox. He does makeup.
my ex-husband told me makeup helps everybody. Thus the ex.
Oh, okay.
That's a great line.
See, it's on the floor. I do think the offense can be really good. What's really interesting to me at this point of the season is my question on us, and my comment I made all off season was that if we were, and I think I said it to you when I saw you, when you went mountain biking in Utah. Ryan, feel free to ask about mountain biking in Utah.
It was an experience.
But I said then, if we're good defensively, we'll be the number 1 seed in the West.
Yes.
Because I never thought we'd struggle offensively.
You're excellent.
And whereas the numbers for the last, if you widen the sample size on the numbers, we were better with Rudy and a small defensively over the last 3 years than we were Rudy and Favors.
Wow.
So that's showing, right?
pretty
There's
telling.
something to be said to that.
Yeah.
We need to rebound, but
Yeah.
all right. Ryan, what's wrong with your Nets?
Oh, man. Can't close games.
No,
right
we
now,
thank
man.
you. We appreciate
Can't
that.
Close games. Yeah, I saw that.
They
the other
said,
night.
though they did made it so they didn't lose. They lost in the third instead of the fourth last night.
Right. So, like, I kind of look at it and I say, if you're in a developing stage with a bunch of new pieces and you want to take the positive spin, you'd say they've had extended great chunks against really good teams and built leads. The downside is their losses have followed the same exact pattern every time. You know?
It's interesting to me. It's just I really like. I'm a numbers guy,
Yeah.
and they peaked out on my numbers offensively.
Yeah.
I just never thought they'd be this bad defensively.
Yeah,
so
yeah. They're like when they move the ball, like offensively they profile amazingly.
Right.
You know, it's just like if they play average defense with that offense, they'll win a lot of games.
they might do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes teams decide after starting 4-8 that maybe they need to defend.
Exactly.
That's
Hello,
right.
Houston.
Yes.
Although they didn't start 4-8,
Yes.
but
No,
Houston has
last year they did, and then they defended great. We saw them well. All right, have fun tonight.
Have a good call. And no disrespect, but I
will
hope,
you-
I hope
will
Jazz
you
fans
shit-
want to listen to us, not you tonight.
No. They're going to listen to the radio. They should listen to Harpering and Bowler Jack, and then
Great broadcast duo, by the
it
way.
is, yes. So, will you shed a tear when the crowd goes for Mike Conley? You're a pretty loving. You're a pretty loving person.
That.
Okay.
I'll cry.
Oh, I would be fine.
You don't have kids yet, do you?
No, but I have a heart.
No, you do not. You don't even know.
I know it will.
Right, Doris? I'm right on this one. This is what I always say. I never cried.
Yes.
Then my wife walked down the aisle, and I started to cry at things. And now I have kids, and I cry at American Idol. I cry at everything
Well, you
now.
already cried American Idol before everything.
Then you're actually human, and it's good, unlike what Draymond says. All right. Hey, there's Ron Boone. We lost him from the show. They did like a private show for us. Hello, people. They stole our show. Doris did a whole private show. We talked about crying.
About what?
Crying.
Was she crying over
Well, no, if Mike's gonna cry, and then if they're gonna cry, if Mike cries.
I doubt if Mike will be crying. Mike is going to be trying to take Brooks to the clinic.
I think Mike's gonna cry.
I think Mike's going to cry.
All right, that was a fun on the floor. Hey, there's Jay Crowder.
He's turned into a rebounder. How about that?
He is still big. That is a mammothly strong man. Brian Bailey would have a hard time boxing out Jay Crowder. That's what we just... That's a good dude right there, by the way. One of our assistants from the Stars. I don't think people know Brian Bailey. He's got a great story. He grew up in Long Island. I had dinner with him last night. He grew up in Long Island. His mom was a school teacher. His dad owned a business. He goes to Bucknell, which is a small liberal arts college in the Patriot League, probably one of the 30, 40 best schools in the country. So really smart dude. He walks on. He plays at Bucknell as a walk-on. They had a guy on their team that people were looking at to play in Europe. The European coach comes over, sees him, he said he had like the best game of his career, invites him to go to Europe, he's like, I might as well go, and ends up like turning it into like a 10-year career in Europe.
It's a great story.
And now is working his way through the coaching ranks.
Well, it's a great story, and he seems to be a pretty nice guy. I haven't got a chance to talk to him.
He has beautiful young children that are enjoying Utah. How's that for? All right. You got anything you want to add today? You excited to see Ja?
Who?
Ja Morant?
Oh, yeah. It was fun watching him the other night. This team plays fast. And as a matter of fact, you understand they're the second fastest team in the NBA.
Yes.
And the question is, they play fast because they're so young, or they play fast because that's their system. But they play fast.
They believe in playing fast. Taylor Jenkins believes in playing fast. That's part of it. You know what's interesting about Donovan is he's like everybody's buddy, but it's also a lot because that World Cup team, like where he actually spent time with. It's not just like he actually knows all of them. If you saw him with Jaren Jackson Jr. there. Let's see how Joe shoots for a minute here, because Joe did not. If people were paying attention on the floor the other night, Joe did not shoot well during on the floor.
Joe needs a little color on those legs. Yeah, he needs a little color.
Yes.
But you're saying that he
didn't shoot it well the other day. So if he shoots it well today, he shot well in practice the other day when I was there. This is the Joe we know and love.
The thing is that when you get in the ball game, you got to see where they're missing. You know, short, right every time. Where are they missing?
He frankly has not been very close on his misses. He had the air ball and he had a. Those are all right. That's like that miss right there was fine, right?
Fine, yes.
Oh, look at Joe's dialing in. Here's the thing on Joe. He's 1 of 9 on corner threes. He shot 45% in his career on corner threes. Like, I'm guessing that once he gets his next 4 or 5 corner threes are going in, and then he's suddenly all his numbers are going to be all right.
My question is this, and we'll have to look at this. Maybe you've looked at it already. That how many of his shots are uncontested nowadays, opposed to what he was getting last season?
Taking more shots off the bounce than he used to. Which
is that because of the defense, or is it because the offense is just not giving him those shots?
I think it's because he's playing with the ball in his hands more.
Because
all right.
To me, he's a player that open shots, he can shoot a great percentage.
Well, open shots are going in right now. Here's an off the bounce 3, flatter. Doesn't get his legs under it the same way. See if he does here. There he did. That's interesting. I'm just going to watch his leg bend and I can tell you whether it's going in or not. But that's time, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I was wrong.
Well, you're not necessarily wrong. It was just maybe off to the right a little bit. So how's Doris?
Doris is great. She's worked hard. She's ready. She does her job. She's prepared. She knows how to do her job. All right. See you.